Hey, boy. Is Trump trolling? Is Trump trolling? What's going on here? This is in the things we did not expect in the year 2025. Jaguar Wright being honored with the Defender of Freedom Award, dedication to truth and justice. And then the Black Americans that Trump plans to honor, he said he doesn't know where he's going to put it, but he's going to get a lot of statues of great Americans, and the greatest basketball player of all time is going to be in that. The most skilled player of all time, Kobe Bryant, is going to be in that. Make no mistake about it. No player in NBA history is more skilled than Kobe Bryant as far as having all the tools, being able to do anything, and not really having any weaknesses on the court. Then you got Booker T. Washington, Dr. King, and his wife, Coretta Scott King. Trump is, this motherfucker's halfway trolling. And we're going to get into it, and he's doing things that, if you ask me, is stubbing his nose at Democrats. And I've always told you, one thing Trump will do something just to piss someone else off. So we about to break through all that. We about to break all that stuff down. Yeah, it was up Tory Rain. Yeah, he did put Clarence Thomas in his proclamation, that bullshit. But remember when the Democrats were saying that he's going to take away Black History Month? Remember that? And if he did, I still wouldn't have gave a shit. So before we get all the way into this, I want to make it very clear, because there's always some dickhead in the room that's slow. You got to say this shit, because in this world, I don't support Trump, for you idiots out there who think just because you speak something positive about what somebody did, they think you support them. I don't support either party. Don't support Trump. This move does not make me look at Trump any differently than I looked at him 2 hours ago before I found out about this move. Don't care about Trump. I can't stand the Democrats. But like I've said before, this is a time that we as Black folks can sit back and play one against the other. And I think that's what this time is now. Now's the time to sit back, watch, enjoy the show, and play one against the other. What's up, FBA Journal? This is the time for us to sit back, watch the politics play out. Whatever either side gives, let's take it and enjoy the shit show. But Trump is picking up the slop and the shit. But thank y'all for joining. I think we got enough people in here. I'm about to play the video so y'all can know what Trump did. I'm about to play the video of what he said he's doing, and then we're gonna go ahead and break it all down. Tonight, no cork tonight. I mean, no twist top tonight. Babcock, same winery. This is a Chardonnay. I usually don't do Chardonnays, but in my shipment they had an extra one. So hey, I'll do some white wine tonight. But yeah, we about to play the video. Yeah, we need to, right, 504 head base. We need to push for reparations, and I'm not talking about HR 40. California did a study, recommendations, even had bills only for the black people to thwart it. What's up, Courtney G? Thank you for the cash app. You know, so we don't. You go. Remember this when you whether you're talking about A. Philip Randolph, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, Ida B. Wells, and all of the people that are honored that Trump is gonna have honored that participated in the politics. They did not partition. They did not play party sides. Yes, Dr. Martin Luther King was Republican, but he was a Republican that made his demands on the government. He was a Republican that got his shit by Democrats. A. Philip Randolph was a Republican that got stuff by Democrats when he do Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You know, you don't. It doesn't matter what your personal party is. You go to whoever is in office for what you need. All right. I'm gonna smoke something in a little bit, but I'm already high. I was smoking like an hour ago. I'm gonna smoke in a little bit. I'll probably smoke a little later on, but I want y'all to. I'm on my phone, so first you see here Jaguar Wright honored with the Defender of Freedom Award for dedication to truth. You see that? Truth and courage. I appreciate that. I like Jaguar Wright. Y'all know on this channel here, I've been very pro Jaguar Wright. She said things that I read in the cards. She said things that I didn't read in the cards, but she's been very, 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 very consistent. I see there's also that thug Ted Nugent back there. But so you see here, you know, she was honored. Major salute. But here's what I want to get to. Donald Trump, look at the people he honored. Kobe Bryant, MLK, Frederick Douglass, Jackie Robinson, Harriet Tubman, Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Coretta Scott King, Aretha Franklin, and also not mentioned on here, Booker T. Washington. So we're going to watch this. Oh, I've been forgetting to tell y'all. Part of the reason I've been coming on late is because as I'm filming this documentary, I'm also writing my book. I ran across somebody 3 times last week, and we brought up the book, and I cannot delay anymore. So, you know, I'm not sure if y'all will see me tomorrow, but I'm coming on at different times because when the inspiration hits me, I go. And I'm already 4 chapters into my book, and the book is on Black American music history. I'm showing how we got. It's basically my music tree. It's my music tree. I'm showing how we got to hip hop, and my research has me like in the late 1600s. The first artist that I mentioned, music styles, and I'm going through it. I'm giving you guys different singers and musicians that played in Cincinnati in 1830 and Chicago and Detroit in the 1840s. People y'all never heard of. I got some people in the book that were both free and enslaved during the 1800s that were monumental to music. I got so much research right now on black music in the 1800s, even during the time of slavery. And I'm connecting how that got, and then what we really focus on in the book is I'm showing you from Buddy Bolden to King Oliver to Louis Armstrong, how that developed into rock and roll, rhythm and blues and country, and how that all developed into funk and disco, and how that developed into hip hop and house. So the way I'm going right now, this book is going to probably be at least 300 pages. But so far, I've written 4 chapters because I told you I'm like crazy dyslexic. Like I'm when I get the energy, I just go. So I'm 4 chapters into the book. So it's coming. I'm not telling y'all when. I don't know when it's coming. I'm still working on the documentary too. Because right when I'm done filming this documentary on gospel, we're gonna jump right into another one. So, but it's like shit. Since I'm already doing all this research with the documentary, I may as well write a book. So that's coming, all right? That's coming, right? So let's go. Let's go. I said that because Billie Holiday is in this. And I wrote some shit for y'all about Billie Holiday. I think. So let's go. Let's watch this. Let's watch this thing, and then we'll get back and talk.
Under the executive order I signed last month, this new beautiful outdoor statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature women like Harriet Tubman. The garden will will honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons.
I like how Trump, he's doing that shit that them Democrats don't do. He's acknowledging Black Americans. And this delineation shit is real because it's too many people that's not from our culture in the government. Winsome Sears in Virginia. I mean, that one nigga in Maryland with no facial hair. All these people are saying we don't need reparations, and they're not Black Americans. And so, because of those people's behavior, not because I dislike foreign-born or immigrant, second-generation Black people, not because of that at all. This is business. Too many immigrant politicians are doing their best to talk about what Black Americans don't need. So because of that, I'm all for delineation. So it's really good to see Donald Trump at least do that part.
The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase it will be something very extraordinary. It's going to be producing, we're going to produce some of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Jackie Robinson, what a great athlete that was, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, he's not a bad athlete. What do you think, Muhammad? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe Bryant. And we're going to save Tiger Woods for another time. That's all that I can. I'm sorry. During Black History Month, we pay tribute to these heroes and to so many others, but not simply because they're Black heroes, but also because they are truly American heroes who inspire all of us, very much so.
So, Donald full of shit Trump just made that move. So let's break this down from a few different angles, all right? Let's break this down from a few different angles because a lot of times Black folks, and I'm reading some comments that I won't acknowledge because I'll say some funny shit, but Black people get very emotionally charged and we rush, you know. So I want to calm everybody down. Let's think about this from a couple non-emotional perspectives, okay? First perspective, this is strategy. They don't like giving Black people tangibles. They like to give us symbolism, okay? They give everyone else symbolism too, but but we get it the most because everyone else gets symbolism and a little bit of something. We get symbolism and a lot of it or nothing. Everybody calm down on who should be up there and all that stuff. We'll get to Kobe and all that stuff because I'll shut all y'all down when it comes to why Kobe belongs there. But let's just first talk about why he's doing this. It's a political move, but it's a move to, in some ways, thumb it to the Democrats. It's a move to also tell the American story. And we'll get to the tangibles part. Yes, black people, we do need tangibles. But at the same time, yes, you do accept these type things. Because generally, America's going to create statues anyway. Most of the time, they're just not going to be of you. And when the Democrats are in office, if they do recognize a black person, it's going to be somebody like Bayard Rustin, who was an enemy to Dr. King. He was subverting Dr. King. I'm watching that Henry Louis Gates documentary. They talking about Bayard Rustin and putting him next to A. Philip Randolph as if Bayard Rustin did anything. They didn't like him because he was gay. But if you read some of this stuff about Dr. King felt Bayard Rustin was somebody who was always constantly trying to undermine him. And he was, because he was on the wrong side. They generally, if they do put up a statue of a nigga, it's going to be a coon jive ass nigga. So these things are going to happen regardless, these memorials and these ceremonial things, because America is a very ceremonial nation. So black people got to be mature enough to understand that come hell or high water, whether you like it or not, these politicians are going to do these type things anyway. So if they're going to do these things anyway, you might as well have the right ones. I mean, Frederick Douglass. We don't give enough love to Frederick Douglass and what he did. Booker T. Washington. There is no Marcus Garvey without Booker T. Washington. People like to talk about the Marcus Garvey story, but they don't talk about how Booker T. Washington is the one that sent him to come here. And Booker T. Washington was talking about self-sufficiency and the whole Pan-Africanism ideology before Marcus Garvey. Booker T. Washington taught us how to go and sit at the White House. He met with racist Theodore Roosevelt and did symbolic thing, but he still got money for it. And then I see a lot of y'all talking about Kobe. Let me tell y'all something why Kobe belongs there ahead of most black athletes. Kobe, in a lot of ways, was like Bruce Lee, a lot like Muhammad Ali, on the level of the psychology of winning, the psychology of what it takes to win regardless. You got Kobe, somebody you got to listen to. A lot of you niggas get caught up in, he only won 5 championships. Shut up. I won LeBron more. Shut up. Not about that with Kobe. It never has been. If you go back and remove part of the reason why he was targeted so much was because Kobe was on some real shit when it comes to the mind and dealing with the psychology of sports. And also, Kobe taught you what he's the absolute zenith of conquering of perfecting your craft and skill set. Kobe is the most skilled basketball player of all time. I mean, he can left shoulder, he can finish left shoulder, right shoulder. He can shoot with both hands. His killer, got to go back to number 8 Kobe. Number 8 Kobe, his crossover was just as deadly as Iverson. Remember, he did the Iverson crossover too, but the NBA made it illegal. Pre-2002 Kobe, his crossover was at the top of anybody. He was up there with Stephon Marbury and Iverson as far as crossover. He had complete range. He's a great defender. great passer. And a lot of you dumbass be like, but he didn't get more assists. Because he was a shooting guard, you fucking idiot. Not a shooting guard's job to get triple doubles. He could have averaged one if he wanted to. Straight up, all the skills. We got somebody named Shamir Ali. Ali, you missed the whole fucking point. Take the jizz out your ears and listen to what the fuck I'm talking about. And get your goddamn emotions out of the way. Talking about athletes who perfected their craft and athletes who, if you listen to them talk, they unlocked the keys to how to. Because Kobe wasn't just great. Kobe, every time he got on a microphone, he was teaching you how to be great. He was always teaching. Kobe was always in the mindset of learning and teaching and always talking about the importance of studying your craft, perfecting your craft, and waking up early to hone your craft. And if you take, Kobe gave you words of wisdom that if you take those words of wisdom, you could apply it to anything. What's up, Show Enough? See, Kobe was somebody who, do you know the reason why I have this YouTube channel right now? Is because of Kobe. Not directly, but it was an interview that he did. And right before he died, a month before he died, he did the interview with Darius Miles and Quentin, you know, the Knuckleheads. I think it was Knuckleheads. He did the interview on the Knuckleheads podcast. And Kobe had said something on that interview. He said, you know, they had asked him about recovering from that ankle injury that he had. When he tore his Achilles, about him coming back. Because I thought Kobe should have retired. I was like, man, I don't want to see Kobe looking busted. Man, just retire. Just retire. Just retire. And Kobe talked about why he came back and how he came back. And he said that he asked himself every morning when he woke up, whatever I do now, today, whatever I do in this moment, how am I going to feel about it a year from now? And I had been flirting with doing a podcast since 2011. I got episodes up on Blog Talk Radio, me, Larry, some bum-ass NBA nigga, I ain't gonna mention his name. We did a podcast together, 2011. That weirdo nigga did some weird shit. It threw the podcast off. I didn't do any podcasts almost all of 2012. Then me and Larry picked it up again, 2013. We would do like 3 episodes and then stop. And then 2014, I would do like 2 episodes and stop. 2015, didn't do any episodes. 2016, I did like 4 episodes and stop. I could never get consistent, but I would always say, okay, I got to do it. But I would always be like, man, I would go live and I would get on YouTube every day if I can just get 100 subs. I'm dead serious. That's all I'm thinking. I was like, if I could just get 100 subs and get 20 people listening to me, I'll do this regularly. Like, my goal was to get 20 people in my live. Because for years I was 2 people. It'll be T Dynamite in the chat. It'll be her. Butter Love is she on YouTube. If you ever see Butter Love in the chat, it'll be Butter Love. If you ever see Reggie Edwards in the chat, it'll be him. And then Larry will be on the thing with me. It'll be me and Larry, and I'll have 2 people in the chat, Reggie Edwards and Butter Love, and that was it. But I wasn't consistent because I would do like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. But it would only be like, I remember being hella pumped when I got 8 people to listen. I was pumped, like, yo. I told my wife, I was like, we had 8 in the live today. We had 8 in the live. And then when I But then I would do one more. They would have two, and then I wouldn't do another live. I wouldn't do another show for like 15 months. But when I heard Kobe say, "When I wake up, I ask myself, is what I'm doing right now, how is it going to benefit me a year from now?" And I kept that in my mind, and I didn't do nothing right away. But after Kobe died, like that December, that June 2020, that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to commit to going to Facebook. I mean, to going to YouTube at least 3 days a week, and I would have that in my mind. So it's like certain things that Kobe was saying in different interviews that I actually took it and applied it and used it, and it worked. You know? Yeah, Creole King Swing is that's in my book I'm writing. That's a chapter I wrote today in my book about swing coming from Kansas City. That's in my book. I wrote that chapter today actually, but I want to stay on topic to what we're talking about. So just that story made it to where it was like, okay, it was about consistency. And then my homeboy Rashid, I keep telling y'all I'm gonna bring him on here, but he's coaching like NBA Africa. So sorry, but he was one of he worked on the Lakers coaching staff under the Phil Jackson Kobe years. And I got so many stories, but at the end of the day, Kobe was somebody who exemplified how to be great. How you feel about who he married, you feel how you feel about that. I'm not gonna tell you shouldn't feel a certain way, but I will say your dumbass need to focus. If somebody giving you something, at least focus in on that, and then at least put your feelings to the side long enough to extract the wisdom. You dig? Oh, you say you need a quick car read? Yeah, appreciate the super chat. You on it? You don't have a wrench? You had a wrench? I thought I ain't take no wrenches. I don't know what happened. I gotta go looking through my. Oh, I did take some wrenches about. I took some wrenches like last summer, but that was like one person. But I don't remember taking your wrench. I don't remember that, man. But yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, you was the well, you the one that was going crazy. Showed up. Was that you? Well, I remember I had one mod that was going crazy in this chat about a month ago. We took his wrench. Was that you? I don't remember though. I have a short memory when it comes to shit like that. I do remember taking somebody's wrench because they were saying some dumb shit, but I don't remember who. Anyway, and my man Amir, you been good. Amir, I thought Amir would be the one that went crazy. Amir been straight. But but anyway, that's why Kobe belongs on there because you got to be able to look past who somebody's married with. Because look, Clarence Thomas is married to a black woman, and he still ain't shit. You see how that works? You know how many of them NAACP boule niggas got black and black marriages? Barack Obama married to a black woman, and he ain't shit. I don't really give a shit. All I know is my wife is black. So that's all I care about, honestly. Because the reason why, of course we have our, will we prefer to see black men with black women? Of course. Of course I'd rather see a black man and a black woman together. That's always what I prefer. But at the same time, a man having a black woman don't mean that he right. Clarence Thomas ain't right. Ain't right. Barack Obama ain't right. Them niggas are foul. With they black wife, motherfuckers are foul. John Lewis had a black wife, foul. So I don't, that's one thing I look at, but it ain't the only thing I look at, But then who else did Trump? He nominated Billie Holiday. Let me tell you how that's Billie Holiday. You see, I told y'all before, I bought that when I was like 18. I bought that picture of Billie when I was 18. Making $9 an hour. Bought that shit for like $120. I bought this Miles for like $250. But I bought these like about a month apart. I love Billie. See, oh yeah, Clarence Thomas, his wife is white. When I say Clarence Thomas, I'm dyslexic. I meant Larry Elder. Not Larry Elder, not Larry Elder. What's that that black dude name? I see his face. Not Clarence Thomas. Not Clarence Thomas. Not Larry. What's that? It was that other black Republican. What was his name? Ben Carson. Ben Carson. Thank you, Purple Soul. Ben Carson. Ben Carson, weird ass. Him. Ben Carson. But Billie, one reason why Billie is so important, y'all know Billie was blackballed. They tried to blackball. They did blackball Billie for a little while. They blackballed Billie because Billie Holiday sang Strange Fruit. When she sang that Strange Fruit, she lost her cabaret license in New York. They got Billie hooked on drugs. Billie lived a hard life because of what this country did to her. She lived a hard life before that. Here we go. Let me see here. When this dropped, 1938. She took a lot of bullets for us, man. Billie Holiday got her start. She got a major part of her start in Kansas City, too, under Count Basie. You know? We talk about a Beyonce. We be talking about all these little fluff and puff artists. Billie Holiday was the real deal. Rosa Parks. I like that they're honoring Coretta Scott King too, because she deserved honor to be Dr. King's wife and to stay with him and to stay, by his side even after death and raise those kids. Imagine all the terror she was under with her husband dying and under constant threat to get, you got Jackie Robinson, LA, Muhammad Ali, that's the greatest right there, man. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. So, one thing I like about this whole move is these are true Black American heroes. We're not being conflated on some Pan-African shit, by somebody that learned from one of our greats. You should never honor Marcus Garvey before you honor Booker T. Washington. I love Marcus Garvey, but you should honor Booker T. Washington first because he laid the foundation. Yeah, Booker T. Washington is somebody who really just, we don't honor him enough, man. We really don't. And yes, Black people, we still want reparations. Just because a few Black people are being honored, that does not take us off the ball, our eye off the ball of reparations. And at the same time, it does not make us want, ooh, you're going to get my vote now. No, fuck you. It's what we got to learn as Black people is this simple term here. Thank you, fuck you. Thank you, fuck you. Thank you for that. Fuck you, but I want this. Thank you, fuck you. Because Black people will get some shit and then be like, oh, they my best friend. How many times y'all see that shit? Niggas be like, they see a white boy do something, man, all of a sudden, man, he cool as hell. Man, Trump, man, I know he all right. Man, shut up. Thank you for this. This is a dope move, Trump. But until that shit come with some dollars in our pockets, this ain't shit. And then once we do get dollars in our pockets, we gonna want more in our pockets. Oh yeah, Billie Holiday went through extreme pain, man. Our jazz artists went through a whole lot. Like we be seeing them wearing suits and all that shit. These rappers, what these rappers go through in the hood the rappers grew up in, man, that ain't shit on what the jazz artists went through and the blues artists. That ain't shit. You gotta realize Louis Armstrong's had to play that trumpet to eat tonight. There was no government cheese and subsidized housing back then. Jelly Roll Morton used to look through a peephole in a whorehouse, and he learned playing looking through a peephole, and he would play that piano to the rhythm of the stroke of the hoes, of the hookers. And that's what Jelly Roll Morton was doing when he was 11. Billie Holiday was raised like in group homes. Like she was Billie Holiday basically had to sing. Billie Holiday basically was on her own from like the age of like 11 on. And there was no foster care back then. Both Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, they both Ella Fitzgerald was basically living on her own by the age of 13. Billie Holiday like around like 10, 13, also around the same time. Yeah, her mom put her on the track. So, man, and she died in 1959. So did Lester Young. Her best friend was Lester Young. And they saw each other both about a few months before they both died. They had lost contact with each other for a few years, but they were best of friends. Lester Young, the man who created the term cool and bread, and y'all about to get all this shit in my book. Lots of pain and suffering. Like a lot of our greats die young. Billy died young, Fats Waller, John Brown, Coltrane, so many of the greats died young. Chick Webb, I mean, so many. And motherfuckers went through a lot. Early hip hop did not see the devastation that early jazz saw. Jazz saw much more destruction and devastation than hip hop did. That's why I don't take the hip hop artist shit. We gotta appreciate, like, man, look, if it's one thing I want y'all to take from me when I be teaching y'all, if it's a lot of things I want y'all to take, but if I can probably break it down to one thing of all the talking that I do, it's to have honor and respect for our immediate ancestors. That's the overarching goal. To have a reverence and respect for Miles, for Billy, for George, for Dizzy. That's Dizzy over there. That's Dizzy. If everybody has a healthy respect for what they did and who they are, along with our thought leaders like Malcolm X, Dick Gregory, Neely Fuller Jr., Claude Anderson's still alive, but Stokely Carmichael and Malcolm X and Frederick Douglass, as long as we can have a healthy respect and honor for our immediate ancestors, that's really what I want. Duke Ellington, Count Basie, this book. I'm reading this book right now on Count Basie. I found it in a used bookstore. I love Count Basie. I'm reading this on him just so I can get to know him better. Because what is life without a song? We gotta have love and respect. Somebody said, what about my ancestors on the motherland? Well, if you can give me the name of some ancestors on the motherland and show how they connect to me, then yeah, we'll honor them too. But my motherland is here in the United States of America. And the names and the sounds of the people, my grandmama got through to Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday was on the radio when my great grandmama was dealing with white supremacy. What is life without a song? Music is how we deal with and cope with our environment. Music is a sonic interpretation of our environment. And music is a healing mechanism. You gotta realize our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they didn't have TV like that. And they definitely didn't see themselves on TV. They didn't have the internet. The only thing that they had that can get their mind off of what they were going through oftentimes was the radio and a song. So Count Basie took my great-grandmama's mind off of her bullshit for 10 minutes at a time. You feel where I'm coming from? Fats Waller took when my great-great-granddaddy was inventing the automatic railroad crossing 100 years ago. I'm sure King Oliver's jazz band did a lot. You know, I'm sure he was listening to some King Oliver. You know, when my great-great-grandmama was in Tulsa, Oklahoma during Black Wall Street, I'm sure there was some Bessie Smith, some Ma Rainey, some W.C. Handy that helped get her through that bullshit. So I'm here to honor them. Make sure it's Sun Ra. I know that my grandmama loves. See, Aretha Franklin's been honored by Trump. I appreciate that. My grandmama loved Aretha Franklin. I remember when that song Pink Cadillac came out. My grandmama, we used to turn that shit up. Anytime Respect came on the radio, my grandmama turned that shit up. I'm going to honor Aretha Franklin before I honor Africa. No disrespect to Africa. I'm going to honor Minnie Riperton. This is my father's music. I was about to get a little bit low. But do you hear where I'm coming from? Yeah. So that's my point of view. I look around and I don't see my immediate ancestors honored. And if you notice, you know what they do? You know what they do? They don't like I was watching that Henry Louis Gates thing. They were calling our ancestors migrants the whole time. No, those were citizens that built the country. They're not migrants. Brooklyn G, baby, that was Perfect Angel by Minnie Riperton. They weren't migrants. Those were citizens. How disrespectful of my ancestors. I think that us as Black Americans, we're going to really, really go to another level in this country when we honor our ancestors from here. And we, like what my homegirl T always say, we shut the fuck up. Let Donald Trump and the Republicans and the Democrats fight it out. Let's get the fuck out the way. Scrap up little bullshit token Vic. I want it all, socks and drawers. I'll take this little bullshit ass token, but I'm still gonna be focused on reparations. But I think we'll go a long way when we honor our immediate ancestors. I think that's the one thing that we haven't tried, because slavery got us to where we kind of move past our past. We always moving forward. Now, we'll celebrate a Dr. King Day here and there, a Black History Month here and there. We'll say this black person invented that black person invented this, and that's good. But then after we say, George Washington Carver and the peanut, and we'll talk about Benjamin Banneker and the Farmer's Almanac, and then turn around and be like, but we African, and Hotep and Haru and Emotep. My great granddaddy didn't know who the fuck Emotep was. And Emotep didn't do shit to help my great great grandmama when she was picking that cotton. No disrespect to Emotep, the first multi-genius documented. Love him. But I'm not about to skip over Frederick Douglass to get to Imhotep. It's not. I used to. But you know better, you do better. Yep, Marvin, that's enchantment playing. Yep. I'm not about to skip over Ida B. Wells, for Queen Nzinga of the Mali Empire. I'm not about to skip over that. I just can't. We don't even honor T.R.M. Howard. Most people don't even know who T.R.M. Howard is and how he's the one that paid and spent the money to get Emmett Till's picture in Jet Magazine. He financed all that. He financed Jet Magazine to come down. He used his own. T.R.M. Howard used his money, and he provided guns to black people who didn't have guns in Mississippi, armed to the teeth. Organized protection rings for Medgar Evers. He made sure, T.R.M. Howard made sure people like Medgar Evers was loaded up with guns. And you want to talk to me about honoring Ramses II? You're right, Sam Goose. We all went through that stage. But that's because that's what we was taught, brother. Like, I'm not here to diss people who are still going through that. I'm just here, hopefully what I'm doing right now is just putting a thought in your consciousness. You could either accept or reject it, You could either, thank you, Hurt. So it's like, I'm just, I don't know. I'm in a space of honor right now, And I think that through honoring our immediate ancestors, we have the protections that we need to move forward and be fearless. Yeah, you talked to me 10 years ago, man, I am talking about Horace and what's his name? They wrote a book about him. Akhenaten. I'm telling you everything about Akhenaten this time 10 years ago, This time 10 years ago, I'm telling you everything about, what's his name? Abu Khari, and Mansa Musa and the Songhai Empire and about Hannibal, and I was talking about all this shit 10 years ago, and it's good to know that. 15 years ago, I'm talking about, man, we talking about Queen Nzinga and Queen T, and the 19th Empire, the 19th Dynasty, I should say. And that's all good to know. That's all good to know. But what about who helped my grandmama? That's what I want to know. I love my grandmama. My grandfather, before he died a couple years ago, he told me he like Count Basie. He like B.B. King. So B.B. King gave my grandfather the lyrics to survive what he had to go through. This nigga Amir drunk. So I think that my history here on this land of the United States is much more interesting and it's much more powerful because it's immediate. This is where I live. Like I'm walking on the land. Like I was looking up some stuff today. I was you know it's funny. I never knew the address of where my great grandfather lived when he came to LA. I just found it today. Did y'all watch that documentary on him with Henry Louis Gates on the migrations? On episode 2, they talk about this bakery that's here in the last like black-owned bakery on Central Avenue here in LA. I never knew that place was black-owned. So just yesterday, I'm watching that episode. I see that bakery, and then today, I went on Ancestry and I got some hints. And I got my great-great-grandfather's census records from the 1940 census. My great-grandfather who invented the automatic railroad crossing. I got his census records, and do you know that address is like 2 or 3 doors down from that bakery on Central Avenue? I went on Google Maps and saw the house still there. It's not one of the houses that got knocked down. It's still there. I'm like, yo, shit. The house my great-great-grandfather moved into when he came to LA from Benton Harbor, Michigan is still here. I did not know that. I was like, wow. And it was like right next to that address. The 27th Street Bakery on Central Avenue in LA. But so that's what I'm saying. Black people, we got to stay out of this when it comes to this whole Trump thing. See, Trump, I was going to do a different show earlier today on Trump, but I went into like, I wrote all of chapter 4 today of my book. I was just going, dog. So, but I'm glad I didn't have a show today because I was talking about like, Trump is doing a lot of things to destroy America now, too. And he cannot buy me off with the $5,000 check. Although I will take the $5,000 check. They're doing a lot of things, and when it comes, I've been talking about Doge or whatever, and Musk, because I'm split down the middle on what's going on. Are they doing things that'll be more efficient, that'll help the government out? Yeah. But yeah, they are destroying the inside of the country, and I'm not going to debate it or argue with it. You know, this is going to be something for white folks to fight out. I'm not getting in the middle of that. But I don't like a lot of things that Trump is doing. I can't stand a lot of things that he's doing. And I like other things that he's doing. But I do understand this. Whatever Trump is doing, the time is allowing it. And one thing about the spirit and the times is going to allow whatever needs to happen to happen. And I feel that a lot of what Trump is doing is going to get a lot of America mad. It's going to wake a lot of America up. What is what needs to happen? Whatever he's doing, we as black people, we fine. Like, even if some of us get fucked up, like, we always find a way to make it happen. Us black people will create a new form of music. We'll create something, whatever. We always creating shit. Every time it seems like we done in this country, we just create some new shit and keep going. So I ain't worried about us. Not worried about us at all. And he said death certificate 1833 from Bleeding Plantation? Damn. So I'm not, whatever happens, we just need to not pick sides and let these white folks fight each other, man. They've been hating each other longer than they've been hating us, I promise you. I promise you, these people have been hating one another far longer than they've been hating us. The only thing that's ever united Europe was two things. Well, really, it's always been racism. Going back to Charlemagne, the Conqueror. Charlemagne the Conqueror was, he united Europe through Christendom. Christians versus the Moors. That's why the Muslims versus, that's why they always call Obama a Muslim. Because Muslim always represent the Moors. And that's what united them. That fight against the Moors. Using religion. The only thing and it still took them what? Time of Charlemagne was 1065. When did white people stop fighting for the first time? I'll tell you. The period between the end of World War II and now. This is the longest Europe has gone without fighting with itself. And hell, it came Ukraine and Russia going at it, but that's Eastern Europe or Asia. The most peaceful period in Western Europe since the fall of the Holy Roman Empire was the time between World War II and now. These people hate each other. All we gotta do is get the fuck out the way. Somebody's telling me I should be worried. Why would I be worried about something I can't control? Answer that for me real quick. The person who said I should be worried. What do I get out of worrying about something I can't control? Yeah. I believe in love and peace. Spill that happy feelings. Answer my question. What do I get out of worrying about something I can't control? That's Frankie Beverly in the background. Happy feelings. I'm not talking about Korea. I'm talking about the most amount of peace that Europe has had with itself. Korea was Europe against Korea. I'm talking the last time Europe fought itself. Yeah, so we just need to shut the fuck up and get out the way. That's what we need to do. And see the thing with Trump, this is Trump. You know, he sees what's going on the black roots. But I'll tell you something about them Republicans and conservative minded, because I'm fuck. You have two kinds of ideologies: conservative ideologies and liberal ideologies. There are no parties when it comes to these white folks, black people. Remember that. The Republicans represent the conservative-minded white people. The Democrats represent the liberal-minded white people. People, not just white, of all races, tend to be more liberal young, more conservative older. But as far as the white supremacists go, they'll switch parties. The Democrats for a long time were the party of conservatism. Let's conserve slavery. Let's conserve that. The conservatives switched parties in the 60s. And in a lot of ways, in some ways, they're switching parties now. That's why you got to know and look and see, are you dealing with a conservative-minded white supremacist or a liberal-minded white supremacist? Don't pick teams. Do not pick teams, black people. Look at this shit Trump is doing and be like, hey, you know what, Trump? That's nice. Still not on your team. And it's good to see Jaguar Wright get acknowledged by Trump. I know she supports, she had been saying the whole time that, you know, she support talking about Kamala, between the two, Kamala and Trump. Salute to Jaguar. I don't care how y'all feel about her. People can talk, say anything you want. Jaguar has been right the whole time. You could dislike her delivery. I'm the kind of person, I don't get into all that. I know inherently nobody I listen to or gonna be around is gonna be 100% in alignment with my point of view, ideologies. It's certain things Jaguar Wright says that I'll be like, yeah, nah. But that's because she's her and I'm me. And I'm sure there's plenty things I say that you niggas be like, that nigga Dwan off today. I'm sure. Because everybody who's who they are. That's why I'm like, us, you're right, Scotty. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to listen. You know? Think twice. I'm about to get up out of here though, y'all. This nigga Trump is what Trump is doing. He's moving the needle for the Democrats. That's what he's doing. He's heightening the contradictions. What Trump is doing is when the Democrats come and make their move, they're not going to be able to hide and slide into some LGBTQ non-black American agenda. You know? So I'm glad to see Jaguar get that. I'm not, but let's keep focused on the eyes of reparations. All right? I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. I'm about to go smoke this on my own. Hey, what's up, Tiara Dynamite? I was just talking about you earlier in here. I didn't know you still in here. Were you in here earlier when I was talking about you? When I said that when I first started this show, I had 2 people in here, you and Reggie. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was talking about you earlier, Tiara. But much appreciation to you. That's what I was talking about earlier for y'all who was in there earlier. All right? But I got to get up out of here. I'm about to take Rocky for a walk so he can go and shit. All right? Do not get involved in the bullshit, black people. Watch it. Watch, observe, watch. Don't fall head over heels for Trump because he's doing this. Say thank you to Trump, but fuck you. Where are my reparations? All right? I'm out.